All right, good Wednesday evening, Mid-Michigan. Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick with a update for tonight as we take a look at the latest traffic conditions around Mid-Michigan. We had some freezing drizzle earlier tonight and even late this afternoon had some freezing drizzle develop. So let's get right over to the traffic map here and take a look where things stand for the moment. And certainly looks a lot better than it did earlier this evening. Looks like we've got less slowdowns around the US 10 corridor, less slowdowns right along M46. And also looks like less slowdowns as you look towards Gratiot County as well, down towards the Ithaca area. Now, some of that I would probably attribute to the fact that we don't have as many cars on the road at this time of night, and we still have several slowdowns in and around the Thumb. But things are certainly looking at least a little bit better than they did earlier tonight. And so we will take any improvement that we can get considering how slick some of the roads were getting earlier. If you have any comments, feel free to pop them in the comment section. If you see me looking at my phone, that's looking for the comments from time to time. So feel free to jump in on that. If you have any other questions about the forecast, if you want to look ahead a little bit in the 7-day, would be happy to do that for you. But yeah, it seems like we've got mostly the slowdowns are in the Thumb at this point, though it is worth noting that even when we were getting some reports of slippery roads in our northern counties a little bit earlier this afternoon, it wasn't showing quite as many on the traffic map. And so sometimes we just have to take the traffic map for what it is mostly an approximation, doesn't always account the best for some of the side streets and less traveled roads. So I would still be careful as we go out tomorrow morning. Just to be on the safe side. As far as the radar goes, the radar probably looks a little bit better at this point as well. We did have this big radar hole earlier today where we had some snow showers, and then in the middle around the Bay region there didn't seem to be much going on, but that's where that drizzle was. So I hesitate to say that everything is crystal clear at this point. However, I do think because that cold front is making progress across the area, a lot of the support for even the drizzle has now started to fade away. So I think we're moving in the right direction. Maybe it's not the case in every single spot at this point, but it certainly is an improvement from earlier tonight on the traffic map. But again, I don't want to discount side streets. I don't want to discount back roads and those types of areas. So please continue to be careful. Just taking a look at some of the observation sites around the area, it appears that we've still got, it looks like we've still got some mist ongoing in Saginaw at Brown Airport. And that was my suspicion. Now we can't write it off just yet. It looks like we've still got some drizzle and mist happening in Cairo at the airport. Looks like it might be mixed with snow. And then it also looks like we've got some snow ongoing, at least that's what it's saying at the sensor in Gratiot County at the airport. So sometimes when you get these really fine areas of drizzle and sometimes you get these really fine snowflakes, sometimes those automated sensors have a difficult time picturing what it actually is. I would lean in Saginaw and Cairo, especially probably more towards the drizzle side of things, but those stations are reporting drizzle. It's towards the Alma area that it's saying just outright snow, but we're not really seeing much on radar. But then again, with some of the flurries that were happening last night, or maybe it was Monday night, losing track of my days, those weren't popping up very well on the radar either, and those were clearly snowflakes. So bottom line here is we are moving towards improvement. It is going to take some time. Caleb, good to see you. One of our loyal weather chat watchers during the week. Brianna, valuable report. Roads not much better in the Thumb. Yeah, it's going to take some time. I don't want to diminish that. Just because we have a little bit of improvement on the traffic map right now doesn't mean we're completely in the clear. And I do think side roads and back roads are probably going to be pretty dicey. Anywhere that is not sort of the priority for road crews, I would say has a chance to be a little icy tomorrow. If you take a look at the MI Drive traffic map, you can see where the plows are. We did look earlier tonight, and I'll see if I can pull that up. But they are out, but when you have drizzle over the entire area, it is going to take some time to actually get to everyone. And with temperatures cooling off tonight, especially towards the teens, the colder you get, those road treatments become a little bit less effective the colder you get. once we're in the teens, I still think we're in safe territory from what I understand over the years. It's when you start getting down really into the sub-zero temperatures and things like that you notice a bigger difference. Take that, for what it's worth. But they are out. Let me see if I can get an image here. Let's go over to our computer, pull this up, and you can actually see one of the plows that is right around what looks like 675. And you can actually get the webcam image from the plow. That is Ole Seven Fingers. that is the name of the plow that I just clicked on, and there's one that's on 675 near the Zilwaukee Bridge. That one is Will Be Snow Day. So the Michigan plows that got their names a couple of years ago, a couple of them are on 675. Those are the only two I see, but that doesn't mean much. There was more icons out there earlier. Perhaps it's going back to the shop, or perhaps some of them have concluded their routes for the night. So it doesn't always tell the whole story, but wanted to give you a sense of where things were at with that. Brianna asked a good question about school tomorrow. I actually got a message from a local superintendent wondering as well. It's a difficult call. It really is, because the drizzle is not something that we expect to last all night. And frankly, it doesn't really show up well on the hour-by-hour forecast anyway. But we expect, if you go towards midnight, things look better. And I would expect as we head towards midnight, the further that cold front gets away from us, the more dry air that starts to work in. And I think we start to lose a little bit of that support for any remaining drizzle that's still around. There might still be some lake effect here and there. And if lake effect falls into some of these temperatures that you're seeing here, these are some of the projected temperatures at midnight. If even a little bit of snow falls on that, I saw it on my dinner break when I went out to get dinner. Even just a little bit of snow here in Saginaw following that drizzle, it really didn't take much to actually coat the road again. So I think we need to watch that. But those snow showers overnight, I wouldn't necessarily call them organized. I wouldn't call them widespread. More of a here and there thing. So school's a tough call. So if we can get the road crews out and they can do their work for the next several hours, there's potential that things could be in much better shape by tomorrow morning. But as is always the case with snow days sometimes, or ice days or what have you, a lot of it depends on those side streets. A lot of it depends on the back roads. We can have days that schools close where the main roads are great, but it's students and parents who are traveling on those back roads and side roads that we can get into a little bit of trouble. And so we'll have to see what tomorrow morning brings. So bottom line, I can't really say there is a great chance for school closings, but I also can't tell you that it's going to be something that I can completely rule out. I think it might be a case where it could be a little bit more localized tomorrow morning. I'm looking at our website right now. It doesn't seem like we've got any closings or delays yet. So I would imagine if there is, that decision will be made tomorrow morning after the drizzle has stopped, after some of these snow showers have stopped, and we get a little bit better information with that. Another factor out the door tomorrow morning is the wind chill. And so if students are at the bus stops tomorrow morning, here's a good approximation of what they might be running into. I think our wind chills tomorrow morning could be near and below zero. The wind is expected to pick back up. So if you got a break from the wind a little bit earlier as that front was coming through, as that drizzle was happening, you've got a little fog once that was going on. I think the wind picks back up. And so what that will do, it will mix a lot of that moisture in the lower levels of the atmosphere. It'll mix it up a little bit better. And so it won't just settle near the bottom. The example that I like to use when we're talking about how fog just settles at the surface is I like to think of it like when you were growing up, or maybe some of you still do, when you put something like chocolate syrup in a glass of milk. If you put the chocolate syrup in the glass of milk and you just let the syrup sink to the bottom and you don't stir it up, what do you get? You get that little layer of really dark chocolate syrup right at the bottom of the glass of milk. And that's what fog does, is you don't stir it up. You don't get the wind to move that moisture from place to place, similar to the spoon in that glass of chocolate milk. If you spin it up, of course, the syrup disperses all over the glass, and that's where you get that brown color. But if you just let it sit, it settles at the bottom. And so that's how wind works with fog, is when you have fog, you don't have a lot of wind. So I don't think we will see that tomorrow morning because of the wind. I think we'll have enough wind to prevent fog from being an issue, unlike Monday morning, where it was a little dicey with that fog. So that's my comparable example. It might not be the best. My students at SVSU seem to like that one. So there you go. Maybe that's an easy way of explaining things. I'm not sure. How's the roads going to be at 3 a.m.? Have to go to Tawas in the morning at about 4. I would say just be careful. Temperatures tonight getting colder. So regardless of whether the drizzle stops or not, it is really just going to depend on what conditions our road crews are able to do for us, or not even just the faults. I don't want to throw them under the bus. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I would say a lot of it really just depends on how well we can treat the roads that did ice over tonight. And also, can we take advantage while the roads may just be wet tonight? Can we get the wind to dry things out before it freezes? Sometimes the wind can help us out in these situations. But the wind can also dry things up and cause things to freeze too. So it's a very delicate balance there. But the wind can sometimes help us out and dry things out pretty quickly before things freeze. Let's see. So if you're just joining us, the questions coming in, school closings tomorrow morning. Again, I think more of a localized thing. I think it'll depend on your district. If it's a more rural district and you had icy roads tonight and you still have icy roads, potentially maybe a better chance than, say, some of our districts that are in the more heavily populated areas that have more just main roads around. But tough call either way. But I think that decision is going to be made in the morning. We haven't seen any school closings or delays come in yet. And no problem, Ivy. Like I said, just be careful. Matthew, well, you said you were leaving at 4, so our newscast wouldn't start just yet. But I was going to say, if you were leaving later, we'd of course have the traffic update starting at 4:30. But yeah, just be careful. I don't think it's a morning where you necessarily, I wouldn't advise travel. It's just one of those typical Michigan winter mornings, if that makes sense. Yeah, Brianna, the fog on Monday, and that wasn't fun, especially in this time of year when you've got, like you said, deer moving all over the place. So I've got it up on wind chills right now, and we're kind of just going all over the place tonight. But we've had some good conversation thus far. Is also know that even after tomorrow morning, where we've got wind chills that are near and below 0, we're not improving much through the day. We've got wind chills that'll probably be in the single digits pretty much all day long. And that includes the afternoon bus stops. Maybe a couple areas pick up to around 10, 11 degrees or so. But it is going to be chilly tomorrow. And if you have a student that's still of recess age, maybe it's a day that they're not going outside tomorrow, or if they do, please make sure they're prepared. 7 o'clock tomorrow night, we start to dip back down below 0, and then we pretty much do it all over again on Friday. So I believe our high temperatures tomorrow, some of them projected to be about the 20-degree mark. If we do have a high temperature in the teens tomorrow, I believe that is the first time since February of earlier this year, so it's been that long, which makes sense. Obviously, not a lot of days in the teens in July, right? But we didn't have any in March. We didn't have any in April. So February was the last time. And then, yeah, I mean, we'll take a look at the 7-day really quick, and if nobody has any more questions beyond that, we can end the stream tonight, and you can let me know maybe after the stream ends, but really no major snow chances here for the next couple of days. I do think we should probably keep an eye on Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't think it's quite to the level of this past weekend, but I do think we could get some decent snow Tuesday and Wednesday. So for those of you hoping for more, or for those of you who are dreading more, I would say Tuesday and Wednesday probably probably the next time frame to watch when we get towards that. And looks like we warm up briefly this weekend to about the low 30s. Some morning snow showers on Saturday, a few flurries on Sunday, dry Monday, but also a cooler Monday. So that's pretty much all I've got for tonight. Again, for those of you who are joining for a quick update on traffic conditions, the map does look better than it did earlier tonight, but I say that also acknowledging that it's not better everywhere just yet, especially Tuscola County. Tuscola County seems like the place that is struggling the most right now. And the traffic map only tells us so much. So that seems to be the area struggling the most from what we can see from this map. Sidewalks, bus stops, stairs to get into buildings. Please be careful on those tomorrow morning. Southern counties look okay. 75 and 23 were a mess a little bit earlier on tonight. Seems like they're flowing a lot better. 127 corridor looks like it's flowing better. Some slowdowns in and around our northern counties too. But that is pretty much where we're at. Kathy asks about next Tuesday. Kathy, correct me if I misunderstood you, but I think you're talking about next Tuesday. Is it looking like an early or late start on Tuesday? I'd say it's probably too early to give you any sort of confidence. I wouldn't feel good about telling you a time frame yet. Sue, ice in the morning. How about Auburn? I think if you had icy roads this evening, I would say keep an eye on it tomorrow morning. But the difficult part is we've already improved just in the last couple of hours. And again, improve is a relative term. But if we improved over the last couple of hours, if the road treatments are down and they're working, and we beat some of those colder temperatures later tonight, that could help us out. But we are still dropping to the teens. So I can't say there won't be icy spots tomorrow morning. Side streets and back roads are my main concern. So hopefully that answered your question, Sue. Looks like we're down to about 55 people, up to about 150. So we've lost about 100. So either everybody's got the information they needed, or they're just tired of hearing me talk at this point. I'm tired of hearing me talk sometimes. Someone told me that during a tornado warning. They said Chris likes to hear himself talk, but I promise you I don't. Our producer Christian's laughing at me. I promise you there is nothing more than I hate than if I come home and my voice is on the TV. I promise you that. All right, I'm not seeing any new questions, so we'll end the stream there so we can get ready for the 10 o'clock newscast tonight, and we'll get ready for the 11 o'clock, of course, after that. Appreciate you all joining. This has been fun the last couple of weeks. We're starting to get a pretty good crowd most nights. I think a lot of that, unfortunately, has to do more with the dicey weather we've had rather than all of you wanting to spend some time listening to me. But appreciate you joining just the same. We will do this, of course, again tomorrow. And if you have an idea, we did have meteorologist Kyle Gillette, who used to be on our team. He's now in North Dakota doing his thing in grad school. But we did have him on one night to talk about the Edmund Fitzgerald and some of the northern lights. That was a really fun conversation. We actually did, I think, about a 45-minute to an hour live stream that night, which was really fun. So if there's something that you think would be a good interview, we'd be happy to do it. Oh, thank you, Kathy. That's nice of you to say. So there's at least one. Kathy likes the stream, so that's good. If there is a topic you want, if you think there's somebody in the weather world or something similar that you think would be a good conversation, please do not hesitate to let me know. We'd be happy to try to reach out to them. I have a couple ideas, but never hurts to get more. All right, we'll end it there. Everybody have a great night. We will see you tomorrow night, and we'll have the latest, of course, at 10 and 11.